You want your money back for a bus that you bought.
Yes, ma'am.
What would be in your mind? Say, I'm going to pay more than double what they paid for this bus.
I'm assuming he was trying to make a profit.
I'm not a business person. Common sense is my business.
This is Judy Justice. Rodney Lazar is suing entertainers Michael Brown and Lucy Morgenstern for a refund of a bus he purchased from them.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, please.
Hello, Judge. Case number 1151, Lazar versus Brown, Morgenstern. Thank you.
Okay. Could we do show and tell someplace else? Kevin,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
want to remove that?
Yes.
Thank you. Perfect. You want your money back for a bus that you bought from the defendants. That's what the case is about. This thing that was on the table was your business, and I'm not interested in your business. We're not here to advertise your business. You understand that? Perfect. Miss Morgenstern, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Is he still your boyfriend?
He is not.
Not. When did he stop being your boyfriend?
March of 2020.
When did you purchase this bus? Give me the month and year.
It was July of 2021.
So it was at a time when you were no longer a couple.
Yes.
And you purchased the bus from whom?
From a public auction.
Is this the first time you went to a public auction?
No.
You've been there before?
Yes.
Yes. And so you buy things there at a public auction and you flip them.
I wouldn't say that. I
What would
buy
you say?
for personal use because I'm a musician and bigger vehicles happen to be of my need for my band.
Okay, well, you bought this one in July of 2021. And it's a bus.
Yes.
And you bought it for the express purpose of using it in a band.
Correct.
Is the co-defendant also a member of the band?
He's involved in the management and yes.
Great. When did you sell the bus to the plaintiff?
August of 2021.
How much did you pay for it at public auction when you bought it in July of 2021?
We had paid a few $1,000s.
Now, I don't want to hear a few $1,000s. We're not talking about a decade ago. We're talking about a few months ago. How much did you pay for it at auction, July, and then I'm going to ask for the exact date that you purchased it.
It was about $3,000 or so with tax.
What year bus was it?
It was a 2007, and within the
You have
few
paperwork on
months.
that?
The paperwork was all together with what the purchase.
I'd like to see it.
It was given to them.
May I see it, please?
Yes. Yes.
Sell to Lucy Morgenstern, June 24th, 2021. That sounds right. And she gave you these papers.
Yes. Oh, actually, he did.
He did. I'm beginning to feel less sorry for you, sir. You may win anyway, but I'm beginning to feel less sorry for you. Because this says that Lucy bought this bus for $2,600 on June 24th, 2021, and she sold it to you in August?
Yes.
So that you were aware that she bought it from a towing company a couple of months before.
Yes.
Yes. So your lawsuit is for a refund on a bus sold under false pretenses. That's what it says here. And it says that you found this bus on a Facebook market page. You met with Mark. That would be you.
Michael.
Michael. And test drove the bus. He said it was in excellent condition, negotiated a price of $6,700.
Yes.
Well, wouldn't it give you a clue if you knew that it was purchased by them within 6-7 weeks before you purchased it, and they paid $2,600 for it? What would be in your mind, just asking, what would be in your mind, say, I'm going to pay more than double what they paid for this bus? Why would you do that?
On the documents that I've seen, had it at over 50-something hundred, like 5,200. And the reason that I paid him what I did is the documents that I saw showed that, and I'm assuming he was trying to make a profit.
No. You're you're in business, right? You brought your plant to show me that you're in business. You make pretty plants with succulents. I'm not a business person. Anybody that knows me knows that business is not my business. Common sense is my business. Somebody buys something from a how old are you?
I'm 50.
You're 50. How long have you been in business?
27 years.
Do you have a place of business?
No.
Do you operate out of where?
My home.
Do you own your home?
Yes.
When did you purchase it?
2008
How much did you pay for it?
on national TV.
Yeah, but that's where we are. That's where you came.
460,000.
I assume you had a lawyer.
No.
You did it yourself with a real estate agent.
Yes.
You live in California.
Yes, I do.
I know they have this bizarre thing here where real estate agents act as lawyers. I don't quite understand it. You spent $500,000 for a home in 2008, which must be at least worth twice that now.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So you're a pretty smart guy, and you make money from whatever you do, right? Making these plants. $2,600. That's what they pay for it from a towing company. So I would say to myself, towing. Towing means it was left somewhere. Abandoned somewhere. Why would I pay somebody $6,700 for something that they just paid $2,600 for? I would say that a guy who is smart, works out of his home, has no expenses, doesn't have a business other than making succulent plants and delivering them, which is good, smart for you, wouldn't do that. That's my gut. So I'm feeling less sorry for you if that's the case, in any event. Okay. Did you register the car, Miss Morgenstern,
I did
in your name?
No, I hadn't yet.
Just a second. You haven't. So when you gave it to him, you gave him the same title that you had. You just signed it, or you did, because you did the transaction.
I was in possession of the paperwork, yes.
So you did the transaction.
Yes.
So that's a yes. Did you ever tell him that the band used the bus for business going to and from city to city? Did you tell him that? That's either a yes or a no.
No.
What did you tell him?
That we had used buses, and that's why we own this bus, because
That's what you're just giving me. What did you tell him that this face is going to believe?
Rodney Lazar claims entertainers Michael Brown and Lucy Morgenstern sold him a bus that is unable to be smog tested.
Did you tell him that? That's either a yes or a no.
no.
What did you tell him?
That we had used buses, and that's why we own this bus, because
That's what you're just giving me. What did you tell him that this face is going to believe?
that we had this bus in purpose to take it on tour as we've done.
Well, now you don't know. All of a sudden you're having trouble with English when you're trying to put the sentence together to tell me what you told him about the bus. Not buses that we use, this bus. What did you tell him when he came to look at this bus? You thought that this was going to be easy, folks? This is not easy.
I told him that we bought this bus as a tour bus.
Okay. And did you tell him about the condition of it?
The condition was listed on the ad.
And what did it say? And drives great. You live in the state of California, right?
Yes, I do.
When you bought the bus, Miss Morgenstern, he does the business, right? But you paid the $2,600.
It was shared. The
Who went to the
purchase
auction?
was
Who went to the auction? Listen to me. Who went to the auction?
it was online.
Online. Whose computer were you using?
We're together. I think. I'm not really sure if it was mine. Or,
Try to think.
I think Mike's.
Would have been my phone.
It was. I think his phone.
Your what?
Yeah.
My phone?
Yours.
Yes.
You bought it and then you went to pick it up.
Yes.
Who took it to register it? Now you buy it in July. That's what it says here, doesn't it? Did I say July? Did I say July? No, June, right? June. You buy it in June. Now you got this $2,600 investment and you have this title. How many other cars does the band have, Miss Morgenstern?
Currently, I don't have a vehicle.
You don't. Does the band have a vehicle?
There's Mike's van that has been used for some of our events, but I have to borrow that or use it with Mike when.
Okay. Is it registered in the state of California?
Yes.
Registration current?
Yes,
Now, you bought this online. Who took the money out of the bank to buy it?
we both did.
How much did you put in?
I put in 1,300, so we split it.
Who got the bus from the towing company?
Michael did.
On what date, Michael, did you get the bus from the towing company?
It would be the date that you have listed on the paperwork.
26th.
June, then June 26th.
Did you drive it?
Yes.
Where did you drive it from and to?
From the towing lot, and I drove it to where I was staying in Culver City.
How long was that?
How long of a drive?
Yeah.
No more than 18 miles.
So now it's home on the 26th. You have the paperwork. Do you want to tell me why you didn't register it the whole month of July? Don't look over there. Look over here.
The bus was missing a glass piece for the door, and I wanted to get the bus all fixed up and nice before I did that.
So did you do that? You had a whole month to do it.
I did.
And then?
I...
But while you're doing that, you register it because now you've paid $2,600 for it. And you're working on it and investing money in it. So you'd want to insure it.
Yes.
Did you insure it?
No, I did not.
Because it wasn't registered.
Correct.
In order to register it, you had to have it smogged in the state of California. Is not an answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you take it to be smogged?
No, I did not.
When the plaintiff took the bus in to be smogged, he says that it couldn't be smogged. He says he spoke to you about that. Is that what you're testifying, sir?
Yeah, the Friday after we had purchased it, that was the day that I went to the DMV.
What's the date?
I think August 13th, around.
August 13th. Was that a Friday? Friday, 13th.
It was a Friday.
So you went to the DMV. According to you, there were some outstanding fines.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you show me proof of when those fines were? Were they either before they purchased the van or after?
I think it was all a part of before, because there was a
That's
lot
why
of...
it was towed.
What he had told me was one of their bandmates had left it on the street, and it had been towed, so they bought it back. That's what the story he had told me.
Bandmates left it on the street. Is that what he told you?
That's what he told me.
You do have to understand, sir, that you're going to really have to show me so that I believe you that you paid $6,700 for this bus. I would like to see proof that it could not be smogged. And when you called Mike, what he told you about the bus not being able to be smogged, tell me what he told you.
Mike, first, he just didn't return my calls for a while, and then I had to reach out to Lucy. Lucy and I had a fantastic talk for about 30 minutes. She was very kind, let me get my points across, and then she said she would follow back up with me. When I spoke to Michael, it was very angry conversation.
He was angry.
It was an angry conversation. I asked him, I said, you told me it was smogged. He said, that's what I thought it was. It's supposed to be in the system. So I said, okay, well, that's our reality is right now. We have sold.
He said to you, it should have been in the system. I thought it was smogged.
Yes, ma'am.
That I believe.
I have text
Just
messages.
a second.
Sorry.
I'd like to see the text messages. No. Don't give me a whole bunch of junk. I'm talking to you. Don't give me a whole bunch of junk. I asked you about the conversation that you had with him about smogging. Show me relevance.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Michael, you said it passed smog. So when you purchased it, he told you it passed smog.
Yes, ma'am.
But you didn't give me the paperwork. You say it should be in the system from the previous smog.
Yes.
What previous smog? That's your answer. It should be in the system from the previous smog.
I have the Carfax showing that it was smogged in April.
Who owned it in April?
The previous owner.
Do you know who that was?
No, I do not.
If somebody hurts themselves on, in, under, around the bus, it's in your name. Somebody will get...
Rodney Lazar has accused the defendants, Michael Brown and Lucy Morgenstern, of selling him a bus that is unable to be smog tested.
Okay, so it wasn't that a band member left it on the street.
No, that's...
So it was previously smoked not by you.
Correct.
When it was done, I believe it was in April. You say, I hope that is still valid. And you say, please call me. AAA said this was a lien sale that was never properly paid for. Need to go to DMV and want you to go with me. I hope you're not ignoring my calls. I can't even get an appointment. I will go there first thing Monday and do my best, but please be cool if there are issues. And then you write, no problem. I'll be available if you need me Monday. And he says the bus was not smogged and your mailbox is full. That's what you say to him. I've heard that. I don't believe some people have full mailboxes. The bus is under your name right now, and you are responsible for it if anything happens. That's still true because you haven't registered it.
Correct.
And you say to him, very smart, in case there is an accident and I get hurt, you are responsible, so let's do this ASAP. And it says there's no catalytic converter. I have no idea what that is.
That is the very main component of the exhaust system that cleans the smoke. There's a big rash of people stealing them right now. And in fact, I have a picture I can show you where the catalytic converter has been taken out and put back in with a pipe, and it was welded in. And it's not a new weld, it's an old weld.
I could shed some light, potentially. A catalytic converter must be properly installed for them to even do a smog check. You can't do a smog check without that converter. It's the filtration system for...
Your Honor, if I may, the April reference that he's making to is the April of 2020. So he was referring to a smog check that was over a year and a quarter old.
Got it. Is that right?
Correct.
April of 2020.
Previous smog 2020.
2020.
Yes.
You still have the bus?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Catalytic converter is $3,000.
It's $2,400 for the part. It's about $300 for installation and tax. And the part is on back order all over the country. This is happening everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Where were you going to take this bus, sir, to be smogged?
I was going to take it to a shop because I didn't believe what he was saying.
Did you ever tell him that you would take it to your mechanic who could smog it?
What do you mean?
Did you ever tell him that you could take the bus to your mechanic who could smog test it so that he could register it the way it was?
No.
Well, this bus, for some bizarre reason, you paid $6,700 for this bus. I still don't understand why. By the way, you gave it to him in cash?
I gave him $3,700 in cash and $3,000 on Venmo, and I have receipts for all.
I'd like to see it.
Yes. Here's the Venmo, and here's my receipt for the. I had $700 cash at home, and I went to the bank and withdrew $3,000 to give it to him. And the timestamp is on the receipt for the $3,000.
Sir, am I correct that you're not allowed to knowingly sell a car in California that can't be smogged?
So, yeah, the California Vehicle Code, it prohibits modifications to the emissions control, and also you need to give the new owner a valid smog certification in order to sell. Even if you're selling it as is, it's still a requirement.
The bus is still at your home?
Yes, and so is the oil.
The oil?
Leaking.
It's leaking. Did you pay the fines on the bus?
I did, but I was able to contact DMV and get it refunded.
And you did get a refund?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Judgment for the plaintiff and the $6,700. We're finished. Go get your bus. It belongs to you. And I'm going to tell you, this is what's going to happen, Miss Morgenstern. This bus is in your name. He has not transferred it to his name yet. Right now, the bus is parked at his home. So I would suggest you go pick it up very fast. I'm going to tell you why. Because if a child gets into that bus and something happens to that child because it's sitting there, it's in your name. They're going to come after you. Put it on the street. Do you understand? It no longer belongs to you. It's theirs. Anything that happens to that is yours. If it gets ticket, they're going to take your license away to drive. Do you understand? If somebody hurts themselves on, in, under, around the bus, it's in your name. Somebody will get a judgment against you, and make sure, because this is forever, this tape is forever, they will come after you. So I would suggest he's going to park this bus someplace. Is there a local police department where you live?
Yes, there is. I can drop it off at the Topanga station.
Great. On what date can you drop it off?
I can drop it off today.
Oh, well, let's wait until tomorrow.
You got it.
Perfect. Tomorrow, between 9 and noon, I suggest you get your behind to the police station and pick up your bus. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. We're done here. Thank you.
Court is adjourned.
I had thought that the smog may have been valid from the previous smog.
Once I realized that he wasn't returning my text messages, my phone calls, it became evident that this was uncomfortable.
And I'm a busy man and I work, and the text message shows that I received over 30 within an hour period.
The text messages he shows don't have timestamps. Those were throughout multiple days and times.
I had wanted to keep it, and I really loved that bus.
Still don't understand why he spent so much money for the bus. I mean, his explanation was that he looked online, he saw what it was worth, and but there was something very shifty about this guy, Michael.
Yeah.
I learned only in the last several years that it was against the law in California to sell a car, even as a private person, that was incapable of being smogged, and this bus was incapable of being smogged.
I looked into the statute and learned there's many exceptions to that rule for newer vehicles purchased brand new from a dealer within the past 4 years. Those types of cars don't have to be smogged right away. So there are exceptions, but this bus was exactly who the statute was made for, to ensure that people were not sold older vehicles without them being smogged first.
Smogged first, or capable of being
Exactly.
smogged. And I'm sympathetic because he said this catalytic converter, there's no product being moved now anywhere in the world. So he can't even get the part. And I have a feeling that that's why Michael didn't register the car.
Resold it very quickly.
Very quickly, within 6 weeks. There's no other explanation of that.
Yeah.
So I think the right thing happened.
Me too. I agree.
Want justice? Go to judyjustice.tv.
I started renting wave runners.
You rented these jet skis for a family vacation.
Yes, I did.
According to you, they were returned scratched.
Yes, Your Honor. I've got pictures here to show all the scratches on the wave runners before we even picked them up. After this incident, I just sold the business. I couldn't handle it.
That is not my problem, sir.
This is Judy Justice. John Robinson is suing his jet ski renter, Stephen Rigby, for breach of contracts, property damage, and missing equipment.
Court come to order.
Be seated, please.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Kevin.
Case number 1152, Robinson versus Rigby.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Robinson, tell me about this business that you're running.
Yeah, so I started renting wave runners because I just really enjoyed wave runners. I opened the business around April 15th
Of what year?
of this year, 2021.
What did you do before April of 2021?
I have a normal day job. I work in the financial industry. I still do that, but this was a side business for me where I was going to make extra income and also enjoy myself on the beach and take out the wave runners myself.
How many did you buy?
I started off with just 2 wave runners.
Did you add to the number of wave runners that you had?
As soon as I sold the business, because after this incident, I just sold the business. I couldn't handle it.
So you no longer have the business?
No longer have the business.
So you had the business from April of 2021 until
July 2021.
July.
Yeah.
And when you say you sold the business, what did you sell of the business, or did you just sell the jet skis?
I sold the jet skis and then
Oh, stop there. And when you bought them in April 2021, how much did you pay for them?
I paid, let me just pull up the receipt. I want to get this exactly right.
Absolutely.
Including taxes and everything, it came out to $26,856. That's for the wave runners. And then I bought a trailer with it. That was $2,100. And then other costs like life jackets, gas cans came out to a total of $29,500.
But you paid $26,000 for the jet skis.
Yeah.
Let's go back to when you sold the business. You sold the business a few months later. And when you sold the business, you sold the jet skis.
Yes.
Who did you sell them to?
I sold them to my witness, Nathan.
Oh, Nathan, who missed the appointment.
Yes.
That's interesting. And did you create a bill of sale for Nathan?
Yes. I did seller financing. He didn't have the money at the time, so I gave him seller financing.
You have a contract of sale with him?
I do, yes.
I'd like to see it. Would you show me the contract of sale? Did you have a loan on the jet skis?
I did have a loan on the jet skis.
For how much?
$18,100.
Okay, so you were able to pay off the loan.
Yes.
And you sold the jet skis and equipment to him for $30,000.
No, Your Honor, in addition to that contract, I gave him another $17,000.
You gave him a what?
I gave him $17,800 to buy more wave runners because...
Oh, well, I don't care what you gave him to buy more wave runners. These were the two wave runners that we're talking about in this case.
Yes.
That you sold to him for $30,500.
So that was the total loan amount, but then if you go further into it, then you'll see I gave him extra money.
No, listen to me. You didn't sell them for a discount. You sold them for $30,500. And you agreed to loan him $30,500, and the loan is secured by collateral.
Yes.
I assume if you were smart enough to draw up this loan agreement, you believed that the collateral was sufficient to ensure that the loan was repaid.
Yes, Your Honor.
Of course. So, in effect, you were whole if he pays off this loan. Now, it is your claim that you rented these jet skis to Mr. Rigby for a family vacation.
Yes.
And you were taking grandchildren?
Yes, my son has a houseboat down on Lake Powell, and we've been doing this for years. For about 5 or 6 years, we've been renting houseboats for our grandkids to go down there.
You mean jet skis?
I mean jet skis, wave runners.
Okay. According to you, he rented them and they were returned scratched.
Scratched, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have photographs of the scratches?
I do, yes, Your Honor.
Did you ever arrive at your destination, Mr. Rigby?
Yes, I did.
With the jet skis?
Yes, we did.
And one of them worked?
Well, when you load them onto the houseboat, you can go wakeless. So they both worked just idling. So we loaded them onto the houseboat.
So did you use them, is my question.
No.
Neither one?
We used the one a little bit.
Okay. Do you know how it got scratched?
We rented them twice from him. We rented them once in May, and then this was the July trip. He charged my son scratches on the wave runners. So my son told me, when you go to pick them up, take a video of the wave runners. I've got pictures of me on my phone, and I've got pictures here to show all the scratches on the wave runners.
Oh, I'd love to see those.
Yes. This is before we go, if you'd like to see that, Your Honor.
I absolutely would. So these were photographs that you took before?
Right in the yard before we even picked them up.
Now I'd like to see your video, sir. Okay. I just want to know, do you park your jet skis someplace, Mr. Robinson, where other jet skis are parked?
Your Honor, I was out of town.
That's either yes or a no. I don't use them often, but I have used jet skis, and some are carefully taken care of, and some, when they're rented, get banged around a little bit. Yours were banged around.
John Robinson claims his jet ski renter, Stephen Rigby, is responsible for missing equipment and damaging his jet skis. Stephen is countersuing for the return of his rental deposit.
Okay. I just want to know, do you park your jet skis someplace, Mr. Robinson, where other jet skis are parked?
Your Honor, I was out of town.
That's an either yes or a no. I'm looking here, there are a lot of other jet skis.
In this case, yes, Your Honor.
All right, so in this case, the answer is yes. You parked where there are a lot of other jet skis. Okay, well, this is July 23rd at 8:57 a.m., which is when you picked them up. Okay, and, they look certainly drivable, but they certainly look used and they're scratched up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Kevin, would you return this? So they were scratched up before Mr. Rigby took them. Now, you have a video that Nathan just handed you.
Yeah.
He wants to show me a video of what he allegedly took on the same date. Is that what you want to show me, Nathan? Or you didn't take a video of the same day?
It's not the same day.
Then I'm not interested in it. Then I couldn't be less interested in it. So, Mr. Robinson, let me try to explain this to you, sir. You bought these in April. Did you buy them new or used?
Brand new, Your Honor.
And you rented them between April and the end of July?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you used them?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many times did you rent them?
What do you think? Maybe 25 times?
Maybe
20.
So let's say 20, 25 times. And how many times did you personally use them?
I only went out once, Your Honor.
And what about Nathan? Did he ever go out in them?
Once.
Oh, just a second. Once. So you rented those photographs that I've just looked at and his video of July 23rd. Do not show me brand new, 3 months old, subject to normal wear and tear by one person using them. There are scratches on them. They're scuffed. I don't use them often and haven't been on one in a couple of years. But I have used jet skis, and some are carefully taken care of, and some, when they're rented, get banged around a little bit. Yours were banged around, and you sold them for what you paid for them. So I don't know what you're complaining about.
So here's some more pictures. That was right when we picked them up, and you can see more scratches than I
can't differentiate, sir, between what scratches were there and what scratches were not, nor do I intend to use this device to figure that out, because you have a bill for me, I assume, from a mechanic.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who fixed up all the scratches. And I assume, without looking at it, that the mechanic doesn't list where each scratch is located. I assume that there's a general bill for cleaning up the jet skis. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's a general bill, Your Honor.
Okay, but then there's no way for me to differentiate between what the scratches and nicks and dents that were in the jet skis in the video that I just saw from July 23rd and your mechanic's bill. So what I'm telling you is you had no damage. You sold the equipment to Nathan for what you paid for it. You rented them, according to you, 25 times between April, May, June, and July 23rd. So you don't have any damages because I assume you made money. I assume you rented them for money.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you have no damages, and there's no way for me to tell where the scratches are.
With the sale to Nathan, I gave him an additional $17,000 to get to that $30,000 that I sold it to him for. So that's where we would actually sold it to him for much less than $30,000.
That's not. May have missed it. So you gave him $17,500. Instead of making the note half, you gave him $17,000. I don't understand that.
So in order to run the business for Nathan, he needed more than just one set. And so he had to go out and buy new sets. And so I gave him an additional $17,000 when I sold it.
Yeah, well, that is not my problem, sir. That is your convoluted business arrangement with him. But your loan agreement, the collateral for the $30,000 of the 2 jet skis.
Yes, Your Honor. Any wave runners he bought after that would also be under.
At this time, at the time of this loan agreement, which was for $30,000, you had the collateral for this loan agreement was the 2, are they Kawasaki? Is that what they are?
Yes, sir.
Jet skis. Absolutely no way for me to determine what was damaged and what was not. I saw it was clear that these were scratched up when he picked them up. Now, according to you, missing revenue, damaged jet skis, forget that. Loss of revenue, forget that. They were scratched already. Missing equipment. Okay, what equipment was missing?
Life jackets and a gas can, and then there's a rod that carries the gas can. They took that rod as well.
Well, I don't know who took it.
Yeah.
They would have no use for that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know what I mean, Mr.
Yeah.
Robinson? They would have no use. So life jackets. And how many life jackets did you provide?
6.
Mr. Rigby, were there life jackets?
No, no life jackets, Your Honor.
You had your own life jacket.
We had our own life jackets.
Was your wife with you?
Not when I picked them up, no.
Okay. But
She's my fiancée, Your Honor.
nice, good for you. Mr. Robinson,
Yes, Your Honor.
you told me earlier, I believe, Whitney, I believe Mr. Robinson said earlier that he closed down his business right after this incident. Is that correct? Had it in April, sold it in July.
He said after I bought them, I sold the business. I couldn't handle it in April of 2021.
That's when he bought it.
Yeah, until July 2021.
And his rental was the end of July because it was the 23rd, and you had 2 jet skis at that time.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you entered into this agreement on the 27th of July with Nathan, in which you secured as collateral the life jackets.
I bought.
So
bought
what
him
you
more
just
life
so what?
jackets,
Just a second.
Your Honor.
So what you want me to believe in, what I'll believe if you show me a bill, that between the 24th and the 27th, you bought new life jackets.
Yes, Your Honor. I
Okay.
did.
You want to see your signature? You gotta get your story straight. Do you understand? You gotta get your story straight. The first thing that you have to do when you come with a witness is get your story straight.
John Robinson is accusing defendant Stephen Rigby of renting 2 of his jet skis and damaging them. Stephen claims they were already damaged, and 1 jet ski didn't even work.
So what you want me to believe in, what, 27th, you bought new life jackets.
Yes, Your Honor. In addition, I did want to say he actually ended up taking the wave runners without anyone being there. Like you said, he missed the appointment. He told him he's going to be there at 10 o'clock, but he showed up really early and took the wave runners without signing an agreement, without calling me. And then at that point, that's why we had to report it to the police, because he took the wave runners without signing the rental agreement or paying full for them. So in this text here,
No text. I want to see a bill from a sporting goods store for life jackets between the 23rd or the 24th of July and the 27th of July.
so Nathan bought him and then I Venmoed him. Do you have that on your phone? So I can show that I Venmoed it.
It was an eBay purchase.
I don't care about eBay. I want to see a receipt for life jackets between those 2 dates, prior to July 27th and after July 24th.
Here's a Venmo of me Venmoing him for those life jackets.
Nathan's going to have to get me where he bought them
Right here. Let's see.
and the date he bought them. You bought 1 Exo Blue Universal Adult Size Life Jackets. Is that right?
Yes, or it was a pack of 4 or 5.
For $59.
I don't remember. Yeah.
I don't remember. Okay. You didn't take any life jackets?
No life jackets, Your Honor.
Okie dokie. Got a counterclaim. How much of a deposit did you give to the plaintiff?
$900
On what date did you take the wave runners?
on the 23rd.
I see that you dropped them off someplace.
We dropped them off back at the marina at Antelope. He told us we could no longer use the wave runners, so we had to haul them all the way back to the marina, and that was on the 25th.
And tell me what happened with the pickup, the exchange. Nathan over here, who I'm not interested in their business arrangements. It all sounds a little sketchy to me. He was out of town. Nathan was supposed to make the exchange with you, give you the paperwork. He was supposed to pay the balance on the 23rd, correct?
Correct.
And what time are you supposed to meet him?
I got a text message from John Joseph about a week before. I've been up to his house. I went up and inspected the wave runners. I seen what they looked like, and they were brand new. I was really impressed. A week before we were to pick him up, before July 4th, it was on July 17th, he sends me a text saying, I'm out of town. You're going to have to pick him up in Murray. He didn't give me a name. He gave me an address.
Thank you. So you had been to see them and they were brand new when you saw them?
When I went, that was back in April. They were brand new, yes.
And then we move forward to the end of July.
Right. So that's the text he sent me to pick him up. No, you can see no name, no nothing. I tried calling him. Well, first I said thanks. The next day I called him because I wanted to talk to him. What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to talk to? Well, what he does on his phone, it goes to voicemail, and then it says my voicemail's full. You can't leave any messages on his phone. So what I did is I called rental. I don't remember who I talked to. I says, hey, I'm picking up.
You can't tell me what they said to you.
No, I told them I was picking up some wave runners that was John Joseph Robinson's. Are you going to have them there? And he said...
Well, you can't tell me what he said.
Oh, okay.
You went there.
I went.
Did you ever make an appointment with Nathan over here?
Never. I didn't know who to talk to. When I talked to him down there...
Stand up, Nathan. Tell me when you had, Nathan, a conversation with the defendant. Listen to me, then you're going to show me on your phone the day that you had the conversation with him. Okay? On what date? Take out your phone.
Your Honor.
Just a second. Take out your phone. Now tell me on what date you had a conversation with Mr. Rigby.
Your Honor, it wasn't on my phone that the conversation happened.
It was on whose phone?
When he called rental the day before to ask how to pick them up, I happened to be there at the time, and the guy there...
You can't tell me what he said.
Gave me the phone. He gave me the phone, and I personally talked to him, and I told him, meet me at 11.
Just a second. So you told him to meet you at 11?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Let me tell you what your partner over here swore to in his complaint. Let me tell you what he swore to. Since I was out of town, I left the jet skis, gear, and trailer at a third party's house, which was not so. You left it at a launching yard. Nathan, my witness, was to meet Stephen, that would be you, at 10 a.m. That you want to see your signature? You gotta get your story straight. Do you understand? You gotta get your story straight. The first thing that you have to do when you come with a witness is get your story straight. You're almost $900 back. Is that what you paid him?
That's what I paid him.
That's what you're getting back. Your case is dismissed. Judgment on the counterclaim for $900. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Court is adjourned.
I thought he was a good guy, but obviously not.
I think Judge Judy is spot on.
Called the police because he never signed the rental agreement.
Am I supposed to sign something? Am I supposed to pay you guys? He says no.
They abandoned him in a parking lot.
I love Judge Judy.
I learned a good lesson before he even took the jet skis off of the plaintiff's property or wherever he had left them. And I think that's a good lesson for everybody before you lend someone, even a friend, anything of yours. You know, take a photo or two just so you have a time-stamped, verified document that you could show in court, just like the defendant did here.
So we did our job today. You learned something.
We did.
Perfect.
Want justice? Go to judyjustice.tv.
Your dog was out of your control, entered her home, severely injuring her dog, into her house. There was blood all over the place. It was a mess.
This is Judy Justice. suing her neighbor, Mark Soifer, for vet bills and property damage after his pit bull attacked her chihuahua.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, everyone.
Hello, Judge. Case number 1106, Burrow Threlkel versus Soifer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Threlkeld, how long have you lived across the street from each other?
We don't live across the street from one another.
You live on the same side?
Yes.
How long have you been living in your home?
31 years.
And Mr. Soifer, how long have you been living in your house?
I closed on it May 7th of this year.
Ms. Threlkeld, are you immediately adjacent to the defendant, or are you separated by a house?
We're separated by 6 homes.
Do you happen to have a photograph?
Yes, I actually do.
Of the house? I'd like to take a look at it.
I have them according to the order.
Oh, so there's a good deal of distance between the two houses.
Yes, ma'am. Mine's is the very last one.
This is your house?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Soifer, this is what her complaint is, and this is what she's asking for. Miss Threlkeld says that a dog that belongs to you got out of your house, which is 6 houses away from hers, and somehow got into her house through a doggy door. What kind of dog do you have?
A pit bull mix.
How much does it weigh?
35, 40 pounds.
And what kind of dogs do you have?
I have a Chihuahua and 2 miniature schnauzers.
So relatively small dogs.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is your daughter. She was involved in that incident that day. Somehow, your dog got loose from your control for whatever reason. Got in to the defendant's house, inside her house. And inside her house, your dog attacked one of her dogs, causing serious injury to that dog, and making a mess in the house in the process because there was blood all over the place. While this was going on, your daughter, from your house, because you had just come in, according to you, from unloading paintings that you had just bought for the house, your door was open. That's how the dog got out. You say the dog was chasing her dogs that were out in the street. I don't care. Her dogs didn't come into your house. From your house, your daughter ran after your dog and tried to get into the house by crawling through the doggy door. So far correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You can stand up. She crawled in through the doggy door, couldn't get all the way through, but was able to reach up and open the door from the latch, which allowed the door to open. Is that what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you got inside Miss Threlkeld's house, what did you see?
I didn't actually go inside the house.
Where did you see your dog?
As soon as I opened the door, she ran out towards the other dog.
Her other dog was in the yard.
Yes.
Did you see the dog that had been injured inside the house?
Yes.
What kind of dog was it?
I'm pretty sure Chihuahua.
Did you see blood?
Yes, ma'am.
How did your dog get out of Miss Threlkeld's house?
Through the door.
After you opened it?
Yes, ma'am.
So you opened the door. Did you go back out through the doggy door?
Yes.
And then you walked into the house?
No, I did not go inside the house.
The dog, when you opened the door, ran out?
Yes, ma'am.
And you saw in the house the Chihuahua with blood?
Yes, ma'am.
And then, according to you, you saw your dog go after the other dog?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of dog was the other dog?
I have no idea.
Was it a small dog or a big dog?
Small dog.
So, that was probably one of the miniature schnauzers.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see what your dog did to the miniature schnauzer?
No, ma'am.
Where was your father?
He was at the gate, but he was not able to get inside the yard.
He was at the gate?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get inside?
I went through the gate because it was wide open.
Okay, so you went in through the gate. And did you see why your father couldn't get into the gate?
Karen wouldn't let him in the backyard with my sister.
Oh, so he was with your sister?
Yes, ma'am.
So he came running after your dog to her house and she wouldn't let him in the yard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Was the schnauzer injured
Yes, but I didn't realize he...
Did the Schnauzer go to the vet or just the Chihuahua?
Just a Chihuahua.
And it's the Chihuahua's vet bills and whatever damage was done inside your house. And if the doggy door was damaged, that would have been as a result of this young lady trying to go through the doggy door.
Mm-hmm. And my pain and suffering.
The only one that's pained and suffering right now is me. Your dog was out of your control for 3 times the width of this courtroom into her house. What do you think could possibly be a defense for that?
And later today.
I ask you that question because I bought my husband a trike for a big birthday. He thought I was actually trying to kill him.
Karen Burrow Threlkeld claims her neighbor, Mark Seufer, owes for vet bills and property damage after his pit bull attacked her Chihuahua. Mark is countersuing for negligence.
Mr. Seufer, you have no defense. Do you understand? You have no defense to the fact that your dog was out of your control, entered her home, injured her dog, your daughter, in an attempt to get back the dog, damaged her doggy door by trespassing in her house. Your suggestion that it's her fault because her dogs were free without a leash. If her dogs had caused any damage to your home, if they were out without a leash, I would say, well, I'm going to hear that. But even if they were outside without a leash, that's not a defense for your dog. Your dog, much bigger, much more potentially aggressive, to be out of your control and to run 6 houses down into her house. Do you understand that?
I would say that it's not 6, but 3 houses. No,
Who cares? How many houses separate yours from hers?
3.
3. So the dog ran 3 houses away.
Yes.
And your daughter ran 3 houses away. This is not next door. This isn't a common driveway. Was out of your control for 3 times the width of this courtroom. At least, probably 6 out of your control into her house. What do you think could possibly be a defense for that?
Well, I think it's also relevant that police issued citations not to me, but to my neighbor.
Then they were stupid.
The animal control officer who showed
Don't tell me what an animal control officer told you. I'm telling you, you bought your home, sir?
Yes.
So you have homeowners insurance.
Yes.
In what state do you live?
Missouri.
Missouri?
Yes.
Did your insurance carrier ask you if you had a pit bull?
No.
Really? What insurance carrier?
On this date was my insurance.
No, I'm just asking you, sir.
Yes.
Where in Missouri?
Veneta Park.
What's the county?
St. Louis County.
St. Louis County, Missouri. We have anything interesting from St. Louis County, Missouri?
I'll let you know.
Okay. She's going to get back to me. So what you're telling me is, in Missouri, insurance carriers on homeowners insurance don't ask you if you have a dog, what kind. That's what you're telling me.
Well, I've now had 2 different insurance carriers for that property, and neither asked me that question. And I don't recall them asking for the home that I sold prior to moving into that one, which was also in the same county.
I have a couple of homeowners insurance policies in several states. Every single one asked me if I had a dog and if I did, what kind. Maybe they don't in Missouri. That's a possibility. You have heard of that, have you not?
Yes.
Sure, because some insurance carriers say we're not going to cover you if you have this kind of a dog that's on our dangerous dog list, right?
Yes, there's a municipal stigma typically.
It's not a municipal stigma. It's that some insurance carriers will not insure you if you have a particular kind of dog. Or they charge you an excessive premium if you have that kind of a dog. You have heard of that, sir?
Yes.
Did you ever hear of a Chihuahua being on that list?
No.
How about a miniature Schnauzer?
No.
But you have heard of a pit bull being on that list?
Yes.
So you know what that means? That means if you have a pit bull or...
Sorry.
Excuse me.
There's a city ordinance actually for that exact town that says section 205, 215, keeping or possessing a pit bull dog. No person within the city raise, maintain, possess within his or her custody or control of a dog of the pit bull breed.
Did you know that?
No.
She's going to read it to you again.
No person within the city raise, maintain, or possess within his or her custody or control a dog of the pit bull breed.
And it says just that one dog? Or is it more than that one?
It says pit bull breed is defined to mean any dog descending from the following bloodlines, and it lists a list of dogs.
Now do you understand, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So that means, and you seem like an intelligent man, and your daughter is actually very truthful, for which your name is Naomi?
Yes, ma'am.
Naomi. Naomi is a truthful young lady. But what that means as an owner of the pit bull, A, what you're doing is against the law, according to your city ordinance. But more than that, if you have a dog that you know has been identified as potentially dangerous, you can't let a door open and let that dog get out. And there is certainly zero defense for your dog getting out and going into her house and severely injuring her dog. There's no excuse for that. And now that you know and that you're on police that responded to your house, and the animal control officer who responded to your house, they didn't know what the ordinance said. You're not making that up, are you, Sarah?
No.
No. Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
But giving her a citation, to me, means zero. How much were your vet bills?
$1,369.49.
And what was the damage to the interior of the house?
The interior of the house is just my maintenance and cleaning it up.
No. And what did it cost to fix the doggy door?
$715.43. $715.57.
That's $2,074. Did you ask the defendant for payment?
Yes.
Did you ask him in person or by phone, or did you send him a letter, a text, a note?
I actually put a copy of the bill in his mailbox, and then on July the 3rd, I tried to talk to Mark, and he told me at that time that the police and animal control told him not to speak to me, and if I come back to his house, for him to call them and I will be arrested. So I left alone and filed my suit.
Smart. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yes. So they suggested that.
Don't tell me what they suggested to you. I'm telling you, I just took the facts directly as they were relayed from your daughter, sir. I don't know what you told the police, and I don't know what you told animal control. Did you return it?
I returned, if not more of it.
Oh, show me.
I just deposited into the account.
Were there any deposits made into the account by the defendant?
No, ma'am.
Karen Burrell Threlkeld claims her neighbor, Mark Seufer, owes for vet bills and property damage after his pit bull attacked her chihuahua. Mark is countersuing for negligence.
Now, you have more than ludicrous counterclaim for harassment and for her negligence in letting her dogs be outside unsupervised. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,074. Good girl. Got it. Good thing to be honest. Always. We're done. I would think twice about keeping that dog, sir. It's against the law.
Court is adjourned.
Well, it did become kind of a traumatic experience.
When Mark stated that I received a citation, I didn't.
Work that amicably by avoiding each other at the very least.
Actually, neighbors.
You know what was most disturbing to me about that case, and actually you earned your money on that case, is that if what he says is accurate, that both the police came and animal control, and the ordinance that you read was clear, and that to have done nothing in that scenario is actually outrageous.
Case number 1066, Godard versus Tekachenko. All parties, please step forward.
Michael Godard is suing fellow biker Elrad Tikachenko for money and property taken from their biker club.
Mr. Goddard.
Yes, ma'am.
You ride motorcycles?
Yes, ma'am.
2 wheels or 3?
2.
I ask you that question because I bought my husband a trike for a big birthday. He thought I was actually trying to kill him. So did all of our friends think that I was trying to kill him. He's a allowed to ride it within the development. He's not allowed to take it outside in two-lane traffic. Every once in a while, the family catches him coming around the garage when he thinks nobody's looking to go to the bank. I find those things a little frightening. How long have you been riding a motorcycle, Mr. Goddard?
Approximately 48 years.
Pronounce your last name for me.
Tkachenko.
Tachenko.
Tkachenko.
That's two, Mr. T. That'll make it easy.
That's how I was called in school, Your Honor.
Mr. T. You have a little group.
Yes, ma'am.
How many people are in this little biking group?
Currently, there are 5.
And Mr. T was a recent inductee in the group. He was made the treasurer of the group. Your complaint alleges that as the treasurer of this group, he misappropriated some funds from the treasury.
Yes, ma'am.
How much?
$120.77.
And you're suing him for $661. That has to do with some patches that he has.
Yes, ma'am.
Allegedly. Club patches.
Yes, ma'am.
How did he come into custody of these club patches?
As part of the treasurer's function, he's also responsible for the unassigned patches, which he would either give to people that were going to be inducted in.
Well, there are only 5 people there now. How many patches did he have?
3 main patches and other little ones that go with it. There's 3 sets. Each set contains 6 patches.
Do you have those patches?
I do, Your Honor.
Great. Would you give them to me? I want to see what he's looking at. And was he voted out? He was voted in the club, and then you voted him out of the club?
All.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll take them all.
It's just all.
We'll take them all. Perfect.
Patches. From what I understand, no.
Okay, so give him the patches back. Now Mr. Goddard has the patches. So now we're talking about $120.77. You had a credit card that belonged to the company? That belonged to the club?
To the club, yes, I did.
According to your answer, at least, you didn't have your own credit card once you ran into an emergency and you used the card for some personal expenses.
I did.
What personal expenses did you use them for?
It was like some purchases at local stores. I honestly just ran out of cash that day, so I used it.
Okay. He says you used it to the extent of $120.77.
I thought it was somewhere around $100, 120 some.
Did you return it?
I returned, if not more of it, because...
Well, show me.
I did. I just deposited into the account.
Were there any deposits made into the account by the defendant?
No, ma'am.
Then you can show me, Mr. T, proof if you have it, that you deposited money. All right.
I paid it all back. That's why this entire episode was kind
you acknowledge that you used their card for about the same amount as the plaintiff says that was withdrawn, which was $120.77, which he has proof of, I'm certain. Kevin, would you get that and show that to Sarah, please? She can just verify the amounts that I assume add up to $120.77.
It looks about right, but I could do the math for you. There's a lot of little charges, like 15 or some odd charges.
You've added it up, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
120.77?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 121.77.
Okay. And there's no proof of repayment. So you have your patches?
Yes, ma'am.
120.77, or what else do you?
He has materials, ledgers, account books.
Okay, are all those there?
All here, ma'am.
No, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you have them back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is our work here done?
Yes.
Very good. Judgment for the plaintiff, 120.77. Everything else has been returned. Thank you very much.
Court is adjourned.
It was something that I did use.
I'm pleased with the decision. I'm glad that the judge could see the truth.
That I did repay.
If he engages in any other club, he'll do the right thing.
Obviously, I don't have proof of it, so it goes against me.
You cannot get any respect from other clubs and the general community if you show any dishonesty.
I don't expect to be part of that club in any way, shape, or form.
Just in case anybody thinks that I am not a truth teller, that was for Poppy's 80th birthday, I believe.
And I also can confirm that us grandkids also believe.
Trying to keep the old man out.
Keep him active.
Have you been cheated? Go to judyjustice.tv.